Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Well, I guess those of you who've been here before, welcome back. For those who haven't seen this channel before, welcome. My name is Leo. We're doing a good thing today. We're trying to do a favor for a couple of our viewers. But before we do, I want to mention a couple of you. Norma Jean and Jim Helland, they've been, viewers from, the beginning, and supporters, from the beginning. Jim's a little under the weather. I don't know if, saying his name, saying hi, might bring a little smile to his face for a second, but it's worth a try, right? Anyhow, the reason we are out here today, we are doing a Lost Lives episode today. And to do this video, we need to do something that we really do enjoy, and that's trying to find things that have been lost over time. Now, this story comes from a viewer named Retha, who has been searching for her family's resting places along the river and rail lines near Route 52. Now, these aren't marked cemeteries with gates and signs. They're hillside plots tucked into hollows and hidden by time and nature, road work and memory. One burial ground sits on a big hill just past this railroad crossing, right up there, when you come out onto Route 52. Now, this is the kind of place you would totally miss if you didn't already know that it was there. That hill holds Retha's maternal grandparents, Isaac and Lydia Spradlins, along with her aunt, Zelphia New Spradlins. These are her people, with family roots anchored into the slope above the tracks there. Across the river, on the Kentucky side, just before you reach a railroad bridge down here, there's another burial place. Now, the bridge right here used to connect the two, and the old bridge connected the two, sides of the river before that. But nowadays, that bridge has been torn down for years. This bridge right here, no longer functioning, obviously, it's shut down. There's a new bridge on up the road here, but it separated the two communities. It separated the community into two, one on either side of the river in different states. But it's on the right side of the hollow, right after crossing the bridge. Among those, she's hoping we can help find are two names that weigh especially heavy. Betty New, later Betty Crabtree, who remarried after Walter New passed. And baby Walter New, Retha's baby brother, who was named after his grandfather. He only lived a few months. His cause of death isn't certain, possibly pneumonia, but what is certain is that he was loved and he deserves to be remembered. There's also her uncle, Sanford Spradlins, sometime remembered by the nickname Wendy, which caused confusion over the years. Family stories say he may have died working in the coal mines around Cooperstown. Others say he was known for hopping trains and may have died that way. A lot of so-called cemeteries today are created simply because someone finds a death certificate and assigns a burial place to it, but that doesn't always mean the person is actually buried there. Sometimes the cemetery itself exists on paper only, while the real grave sits forgotten on a hillside or way back in a holler somewhere, with no marker left to speak for it. Now, this story isn't finished yet. We may or may not be able to locate the second cemetery, or for that matter, the first one, since the information is a little bit blurry. But even if I can find just one, it will still be some measure of progress. I'm not sure if we can even find the cemeteries It's not as easy as you may think, but I am here to try. We're going to give it a try. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I mentioned it on Facebook and on the channel. We just brought a new, we'll call it a mystery mobile for right now. You know, we're going to try to do a little bit of traveling and telling y'all some more hillbilly stories from a little bit further. You know, try to do a little bit more, you know. And the truck's getting old. It's 22. The Mustang, you can't really fit more than 2 people in it. That's about it. But I think it's fitting. I think it's very fitting that its very first mission out here today is trying to do a favor, trying to do a solid for a couple of our viewers. So I think that's very fitting. I think that's very appropriate use. And, you know, I think most of y'all would probably agree. But it makes a big, you can lay the seats down. It's like a cave back in there once you lay the seats all down. But anyway, okay, now my plan, all right, just thought I'd show y'all real quick. Now my plan, all right, as near as I can tell, this first graveyard, this highway right here, US 119 and Route 52, you can see where it was cut right along through there, the hillside, right? Somewhere back up on that hillside, back up on that mountain, is this first graveyard. I have a vague, very vague idea of where to go start my search, but yeah, I guess head over there and start looking. Okay, now bring y'all up to date. I have been knocking on doors. Yes, I have. I am not a salesman and I'm not a politician. I was hoping that I could ask you for some directions. Seems to work. I haven't gotten shot yet. What can I say? This lady right here, real nice. She told me she didn't know, but gave me permission to cross her land, go all the way out through there. You just make yourself right at home. No problem. Go over here and talk to these guys. Talk to them. These two here. Who's the oldest person in the neighborhood? You know, wouldn't probably know. Go talk to the people in the greenhouse. I happened to run into these folks. We've been in there talking, made me a new friend. We've been talking for like 20 minutes, but I have the leads. I have the information that I've been looking for. One of the graveyards, I don't know if y'all can see a little trail going back up the mountain right there. That goes up and around the hill to one, right back up in there somewhere behind that house somewhere. Could be out through that way too. We'll find out. The other is out this way. This is the one that I suspect. They've been out there hunting and they found a wall and, you know, could be, you know, very well what we're looking for. But they haven't been all the way, so we're going to go find out. We're going to check that one first because they said they know for sure there's stones up here. You know, that one should be a lot easier to find. So we're going to load up here. I've got my coveralls on. I've got a thermos of coffee in my pocket and a pocket full of GoPro batteries. So we are ready to officially, got the mystery mobile parked till we get a better name for it. We are ready to go hit the mountainside, right? Up and away. We're getting there. Directions will take the old trail right there. Go out through there, you'll see an old barn. Go through the old barn and out the other side. And keep going. Through the old barn. Looks like it's that old. Somebody's using it. I see what looks like what used to be a trail. Some sort of road, isn't it? Now the crossing is right down there. You can see the crossing right there. cinder blocks out here for something. Camper top. Anybody need a camper top? One good thing about coveralls, you can just rip through the thorns. One good thing about them. Looks like we're going to have to do some ripping here. Should have brought a machete. Tight spot, for sure. Now, I'm assuming up, unless that's it down there, there's a flat. I see a flat down there. This is directly across from the crossing, is right there. Right over there is where the bridge goes across at. Okay, let me shut my camera down, put it in my pocket, and do some climbing. See you in a minute. Wish me luck. Okay, a little update. I've been crawling through the brush here for a few minutes, and I do not see anything even remotely close to a graveyard on this side. Just some old blocks. You can tell where an old house used to be before they cut all that stuff out to put in the highway. But I do not see a graveyard over here at all. And this hill, it basically does that up through that way on a pretty steep angle, like so, going right up through there. So I do not believe that it's on this side. I think it is the one on the other side of the valley, back up behind the church. So let's head over that way and head back up the other mountain. I headed back out, just back down to the garage now, and I just happened to notice you can see old ruins of what used to be someone's home right here. All kinds of cinder blocks, what's left of a couple walls. I don't see any way of an old trail or anything going back up on this side at all. Oh, alright, let's head back over. Gotta squeeze through the brush right there. Look at this. Typical day though. Sideways. Okay, we're out. No roads going up. Nothing. So the one we're looking for, there's the clear cut he mentioned for the power line. He said it was just past that. You'll see his deer feeder. I think I see a deer feeder already. I think I see one right now. It says just past that clear cut for the power line. Okay, let's go hit that mountain now. Next mountain up. We'll find it, or we'll try anyway, won't we? I'm nothing if I'm not stubborn. It comes in real handy when you're doing stuff like this. Being stubborn comes in real handy. I'll say that much. And loving it helps too. You know, loving just getting out and doing the search. See what you can find. If you can find these old places. This one's a steep one. A little steep section. Check it out. Little channel for water to flow. Alright. Climb the hill. Another little cut. Huh. Look at that. We're getting there though. Hey y'all, a little trick helps on hills. I call it falling up. Lean forward and put your feet under you before you fall. Sounds overly simplistic, but it does work. It helps. I didn't say it made it easy. Alright, let's get to climbing some more without the huffing and puffing. I found the remnants of a couple other old homesteads. You can see the stairs right here going up and another one right back there. But I thought this one was a little bit ironic, was a little bit, well, I don't know if ironic's the right word, but I'll just show you and you see if it's the right word or not. An old homestead, right? Child's bike. See the little bike with training wheels right there? And there's an old a walker right there. A wood stove too right there. But anyway, I thought that was, you know, kind of interesting. Signifies a little bit of life from all ages, right? Little kid on a tricycle basically with training wheels. And then after you live your family's history, there's the walker. Thought that was a little bit interesting. Just to see those two specific things laying there side by side. An old shed, tin building. It's up here a pretty good ways, ain't it? Another old homestead right there. Yeah, they got a pool. Had a pool. Can you imagine bringing all that lumber and stuff up here to build that? That is one rough road. Okay, we're going that way. Where's that power line at? Trying to get my bearings. The clear cut, I'm guessing about 100 yards. Huh. Old garage of sorts. Hello. I see a headstone. We found it. I see a cross and I see headstones. I see markers. There's supposed to be more too. On out past this is the clear cut here where the power line comes through. My new friend said that there was some right here. Said you go on past it. I see the deer's feeder right there. Said you go on past these down to the feeder and there's some more. I see quite a few right here though. I see 1, 2 over there. Whole bunch right here. Alright, let me get off here, catch my breath, and I'll be right back. Okay, that's a little bit better. Caught my breath. Came up a little ways, didn't I? You can see the roof of the greenhouse I'm parked down quite a ways from it. So yeah, we came up a little ways. A little falling up trick helps, but it don't make the hill no shorter. It's kind of odd that these are some very recent ones here. Jack Blevins, 1950 to 2005. Okay, there's some here because you can see slight indentations in the ground, and I see some block up there that someone's put out as a headstone. See some more up there too, but those are all just stones. No names on them or anything. Belvia Rose Blevins, 1926 to 1998. Joe Blevins, 1964. I can't make that bottom one out. Still can't make that bottom one out. But they're undocumented. So either way, we'll fix the find a grave listings for all these people either way. This one, this says mother, and nothing on the back. And you can see there's 1, 2, at least 3 right here, but you can see where there's a fence, barbed wire, probably marking the boundary. So I'm going to guess 1, 2, 3, 4 right here, and the only one that says anything is this one that simply says mother. Okay, right there. Now this other one out here, from my understanding, is probably going to be considerably older and probably more likely to be the one that we're looking for. I see one already. Didn't even notice all the yucca all through here, there. I see stones there, over here. Okay, this is considerably bigger than just those little handful back there. This is a World War I, guys. Labe, L-A-B-E, Thompson, West Virginia, Sergeant, 315th Field Artillery, 80th Division, World War I, 1903 to 1949. Can't really see it that well, though. It's kind of leaning forward, causes a shadow on it. Let's see, I'll work my way along the top. I usually prefer to go along the top edge. If nothing else, it's all downhill from there. I see one right there. I see several. I see a row right here. Yeah, they're all over. Okay, the highest one I see here is that. Here's a Harold Phillips, 1919. Oh, died March 19th, 1909. Let's see. Up and over the log. and then back down because the name's on the other side. Oh wait, there's the highest one I see. This is James James C. Lethco, Lethco, 1903 to 1922. There's some more here. You can see little field markers all over the place through here. There's a dip. That's a double. There's two people there. I see one up here with a stone though. I see one marker stone. This is one of them. This is one of the graves we're looking for. Sure is. Zelphia Spradlin, 1923 to 1970. That's one of them. This is the right place. And that proves it right there. If there was a shadow of a doubt, that one stone just removed it. There's one here too. Looks like a double. There's a foot stone there and a stone there. This looks like a double. I see fence over there. Where's the top of this fence at? I don't see the top. Okay, I see it now. And I don't see any stones higher. Alright, I'm gonna work my way down the edge of that fence. And I know that I'll be within the boundaries. And then all I need to get then is the stuff in the middle. There's one. They hide back here on these mountains. They're hard to find. Ermel A. Caudle, born 5/14/50, 1957. It just says born/died and has the one date. But this is the edge. Right there's the fence. Let me grabbing fences. Get me electric. Doubtful, but you know, highly doubtful here. You see right there's one. You can see that. The field stone somebody's put. There's one that sunk. There by that tree's one that sunk. You can see them all out through there, sunken spots. There, 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 there. Look at that one. There's graves that have collapsed. Oh my God, there's three of them together. Look at that. There's a whole bunch that's collapsed. Out here has fell in. Right there has collapsed in. Right here. There's more yucca outside the fence too. This graveyard goes past the fence. Sure as world. I see sunken graves right there on the outside. There's three. And here's a double. There's a field marker. Field stone. But that one used to say something. Walter Joseph Alcox, ALCOX, 1920 to 1922. It's a 2-year-old, guys. It's a 2-year-old. I should have known the lamb on top. The head's broken off right here. I didn't notice the lamb. There's a lot of people buried here. I thought this was going to be a small one. 6, 7, 8. This is a really big graveyard. But we are in the right place. We know that much. Okay, who do we have here? Lena Runyon, 1921 to 1932. M-A-P-Y-A. Yeah. Bentley. And it could be M-A-R. M-A-R-Y-E? Mary? Be interesting to look this one up. Bentley. 18 or 6. What? Run that by me again. Died in 1965. The date here, born November 16th, 18. Okay, I get it now. Some of them you have to look a little bit. All right, which way are we going? I'm going that way. They're all through here. I see. I don't know how well y'all can see them on the camera. Sunken spot. You see a footstone right there, a marker, field stone. Another one right here too. Of course, back in the day, a lot of people used wooden crosses to mark family graves, and naturally, wooden crosses don't last very long. Here's another one right there. We found one grave for sure that we were looking for. Alright, see if there's a way to get out behind that and get out in that other section behind the fence. And then work my way back down. I've still got everything. Remember how I came in on that little trail to the left of the blind right there? Everything below that imaginary line I haven't done yet. I've done everything above, but not below. Right now, I'm just kind of curious if I can get out that way or not. Looks like not. I have to go out and around. This one is, here we go. Looks like a military. Yeah, it's a World War II. Charles William Casey, West Virginia. Ouch. USNR, World War II, 1904 to 1965. That's his right there. See the jump over. Okay, the fence goes down and around. Okay. And I just saw one right here somewhere. Oh, no name. Just a marker stone right there. Okay, and work my way below my little imaginary line. Look at that. Perfect little squirrel nest. Of course, they don't do that. They make what's called drays up in the trees, up in the treetops. It's a little house basically for squirrels. There's one. They take leaves and bunch them up together and lace it to make a little house. Now here's a bunch with names. Look, this one's gotten a new stone at some point. This is, let's see, Benjamin Franklin Blevins. They're both the same? Yeah. I've seen several others had those letters inlaid. Benjamin Franklin Blevins, born March 29th, 1920 to 1967. And you can see the original right back there. Let's see, 29. Yeah, same stone. A lot of times you'll see people, they'll do that. They'll take the old one out and make it a footstone, but it looks like we've made both and then just left the original in place. There's one in between here, between Benjamin and the one I'm getting ready to do. There's another one in between as well, but it's just a marker stone. This is Harrison Blevins Sr., born March 1st, 1946, and passed away 1993. And Hazel Gail Blevins, 1950 to 1966, right beside him. Ricky Blevins. It's a 3-year-old, 1960 to 1963. A 3-year-old child. June Coral Blevins, 1944 to 1946, 2-year-old. Quite a few young ones here. Alright, work my way along the bottom, and then all I have is the midsection up to the hunting blind. Bob Markham, 1956. Emma Markham, born 1937, could be 57, part of it's broken. Mom's name, Emma. This is Elizabeth Markham, born 1948. Can't make out a death date. Kind of hard to believe that none of these have any find-a-grave listings. I mean, I could see a lot of these older ones not having them, but the newer ones. This is Mother Cora Patrick. Used to have a picture. You can see where a picture, little plaque or something used to be right there. Could have been dates as well, I suppose. Well, they're all through here too. I can see little indentations. And there's one right there. Yucca as well. Look at that, they're back in the tree line. Can't read it. Long gone. Oh wait, here we go. Lori Davis Crabtree. Alright, let's see. This is the easy side here. Yeah, that's the hard side. What side it is? Crash through here. They crash under here. Sometimes you can break them, sometimes you can't. A little holly tree. You gotta watch them things, they'll eat you up, man. We're getting here. James Crabtree, 1893 to 1962. There's one down here in the trees. Trees fell on it. Betty Crabtree. No dates, but there's a fern pressed into the wet concrete when it was made. Virgil Crabtree, 1963 to 1983. And there's the church down there. I'm actually parked way up over there. I see it now. Okay, I believe that's it for that way. Up into the yucca plants. There's one right there. You dip. Okay, there's the blind. So I've got everything below the blind. Let's see, there's the fence right there. Okay, perfect. See the fence post right there. And there's one too. So we're at the edge. This is James Markham, born 1942 and died 1945. These are Markhams. Everett Markham, 1910 to 1977. Nellie C. Markham, 1922, no death date. And the last one, Eddie Lee Markham, 1953 to 2006. I like that marker though, mirrored, it's pretty. Okay, where are we going? There's another military right there. This is Carl Markham, West Virginia Corporal, U.S. Army, World War II and Korea, 1920 to 1950. That's wild, ain't it? Only lived 30 years and look what he did. He fought 2 wars. Not just one. 2. No name. Nothing. This is Vinia Blevins. 1894 to 1971. Dewey, look at that, Dewey Blevins, Sr., 1902 to 1970. Says Grandpa down at the bottom. Whoever did this did a whole lot of them, didn't they? Rady, R-A-I-D-Y, Blevins. Started to say Randy, but it's Rady. Now this one's short. That's a bad sign. Helen Jewell is all it says. And that one has Helen scratched into the rock. The fieldstone. In God we trust. No name. Apparently whoever made this stone didn't know who was in there, but they knew it was family. Johnny, child of. Okay, I see what it is. It's a baby's grave. This probably is too. Child of, yeah, infant child of Emma Blevins. Infant child. Right there you can see the footstone. There's a lot of these with children right here. Okay, we got all of those. I see one more, the big one. And of course there's a lot more field stones too. A lot bigger than I thought it was. I'm on the deer cam, no doubt. The deer camera right there, trail camera. This is Ward. Benjamin Franklin Ward, 1912 to 1931. Alice Marie Ward, 1914 to 1915. And Charles Ray Ward, 1907 to 1912. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple more. There's more little ones. If I'm not mistaken though, guys, Retha, I do believe that covers everything up here that is possible to document. But I suppose, guys, I guess after it's all said and done, that is just about all we can do. Unfortunately, we can't bring anybody back. Can't change any of their stories. All we can do is do what we can, document what we can, tell their stories, and share these amazing stories with you guys. It's a pretty day to be out doing it though. It's a little cold, I'll be honest. It's maybe 40, but that's the best time to do this stuff. You don't want to be out climbing mountains when it's 90 degrees. Cold is what you want. Cold is the best time to do it. Yeah, I see the edge of the fence right now coming up right there. I was right on the line. Perfect. Perfect. Can't beat that, can you? Well, alright guys, I appreciate y'all coming along with us and checking out this old cemetery and spending a little bit of time with me back here in southern West Virginia, way back on a mountainside someplace, looking at an old graveyard, trying to find some people for somebody. Very interesting day.